بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. حضار نهایت گرامی، به نشست مشترک جلالتمآب محمد اشرف غنی رئیس جمهوری اسلامی افغانستان، آقای مارک اسپر وزیر دفاع ایالات متحده امریکا و آقای یانس استولتنبرگ سکرتر جنرال سازمان ناتو خوش آمدین. در آغاز به تلاوت آیات کلام الهی گوش فرا می‌دهیم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إذ كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون والصلح خير إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون صدق الله العظيم. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
I would like to call on Excellencies President Ghani, Secretary of Defense, and Secretary General to NATO to come to the podiums and say their remarks.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. تر هر څو اول درنو میلمنو د ناتو سازمان سرمنشي ښاغلی استولتنبرګ، د امریکا د متحده ایالاتو دفاع وزیر ډاکټر اسپر، د افغانستان لپاره د اروپایي ټولنې خاص استازی ښاغلی رولند کوبیا او په کابل کې میشت د دوستو هیوادونو سفیرانو ته ښه راغلاست او ستړي مه شئ. په خیر راغلی، هر کله راشئ. نن په کابل کې ستاسې محترم و دروند حضور د افغانستان له مشروع نظام څخه ستاسو د دوامداره ملاتړ ښودنه کوي. یو وار بیا له تاسو څخه مننه کوم. همدارنګه د افغانستان له سیاسي مشرانو، جهادي رهبرانو او په ملي شورا کې د خلکو له استازو او ټولو حاضرینو څخه مننه کوم چې نن په دغه پرتمینه غونډه کې حضور لري. ستاسو حضور د افغانستان د ملي وحدت او له نظام څخه د ملاتړ ښودنه کوي. له ټولو مننه کوم. وزیر محترم دفاع ایالات متحده امریکا و سرمنشی محترم سازمان ناتو، ما و شما به توافقات و معاهدات جدید ضرورت نداریم، به خاطر اینکه ما با سازمان ناتو و کشور دوست ایالات متحده امریکا معاهدات امنیتی داریم که در مشوره با نمایندگان مردم افغانستان در لوی جرگه مشورتی و توسط اعضای شورای ملی در هر دو مجلس به تصویب رسیده است. این معاهدات همچنان پابرجا می باشد. جنرال سکرتر سازمان ناتو جناب استولتنبرگ، از شما تشکر می کنم که همیشه از همکاری های دوامدار با افغانستان حمایت کرده اید. به خصوص در کنفرانس اخیر وزرای دفاع سازمان ناتو برای حمایت، تمویل، تجهیز و تعلیم نیروهای امنیتی و دفاعی دلیر افغانستان تا سال 2024 میلادی گام‌های جدی برداشته اید. وزیر محترم دفاع ایالات امریکا دکتر اسپر، از شما تشکر میکنم که افغانستان را برای امنیت داخلی امریکا مهم دانسته اید و تأکید شما برای همکاری با افغانستان کوتاه مدت نه بلکه همیشه میان مدت و دراز مدت بوده است. درنو هیوادوالو او دلته ناستو خویندو او ورونو، نن د دوست هیواد امریکې متحده ایالاتو سره په افغانستان کې د دایمي سولې د تأمین په خاطره یوه ګډه اعلامیه خپروو چې د دغې اعلامیې د موادو په تطبیق سره به انشاءالله تعالی په افغانستان کې دایمي سوله او ثبات ته لاره هواره شي. په دغه اعلامیه کې یو ځل بیا ټینګار شوی دی چې د افغانستان اسلامي جمهوریت د ملګرو ملتونو سازمان د یو غړي په توګه او د نړیوالو قوانینو په اساس یو مستقل او خپلواک هیواد دی او د افغانستان اسلامي جمهوریت دولت د امریکې د متحده ایالاتو او نړیوالې ټولنې لخوا په رسمیت پیژندل شوی دی. د افغانستان د اسلامي جمهوریت او د ناتو سازمان ترمنځ او دغه راز د امریکې متحده ایالاتو سره زموږ دوه اړخیزه امنیتي تړونونه پر ځای دي. په دې معنا چې د افغانستان ملي امنیتي او دفاعي ځواکونه سره زموږ د نړیوالو ملګرو تعهدات په خپل ځای پاتې دي او په امنیتي او دفاعي برخو کې به د دوی همکاري او حمایت دوام کوي. دلته لازمه بولم چې یادونه وکړم پرون زموږ د امنیتي او دفاعي ځواکونو ملي ورځ وه. یو ځل بیا ټولو زړورو افغان ملي وسلوالو ځواکونو ته د دغه ورځې مبارکي وړاندې کوم او د دوی د قربانیو او سرښندنو قدرداني کوم. افغان ولس د جنگ په ډګر کې ستاسې د قربانیو قدر کوي او پرون چې ستاسو ملي ورځ وه ولس دا ورځ په ډېره شانداره توګه تجلیل کړه. په سوله کې ستاسو نقش او مسئولیت لا زیاتیږي ځکه دا تاسې یاست چې د سولې ساتنه به کوئ، د طبیعي آفاتو پر وړاندې به زیانمنو سره مرسته کوئ او د افغانستان د پولو او ځمکنۍ بشپړتیا څخه به په کلکه دفاع کوئ. د دغې ګډې اعلامیې په اساس زموږ روابط د نړیوالې ټولنې خصوصا د امریکې متحده ایالات سره په متقابل احترام او د مشترکو ګټو په بنسټ ولاړ وي. په دغه مشترک اعلامیې کې د افغانستان د اوسنۍ 40 کلن ناورین او د جنگ او سوله‌ایز حل په لارو چارو موافقه شوې ده. دا سوله‌ایزه حل لاره به د افغانستان د اسلامي جمهوریت دولت او د طالبانو ترمنځ د مذاکراتو په نتیجه کې ترلاسه کیږي او بیا به موږ ټول په ګډه د هغه عملي کولو خواته ځو. زموږ مذاکراتي ټیم به د افغانستان د اسلامي جمهوریت تر چتر لاندې همه شموله وي. د امریکا او طالبانو ترمنځ د توافق په اساس تیره یوه اونۍ په افغانستان کې د تاوتریخوالي د کموالي اونۍ وه. سره له دې چې په دغه اونۍ کې ځینې پیښې وشوې، خو له نیکه مرغه اکثر وطنوالو یوه اونۍ په نسبتا سوله ایزه فضا کې ژوند وکړ. دغه کار به د دې سبب شي چې طالبانو سره د مستقیمو مذاکراتو له لارې دایمي اوربند ته ورسیږو. د افغانستان دولت د امریکا د متحده ایالات او طالبانو ترمنځ توافقنامې هغه برخه چې اورکم چې یو نوې اصطلاح ده او بالاخره دایمي اوربند ته اشاره شوې ده، همدارنګه د افغانستان د اسلامي جمهوریت او د طالبانو ترمنځ د مخامخ مذاکراتو د پیل په اړه کوم تفاوق شوی دی، له دې دواړو څخه هرکلی کوي. د موافقې ځینې برخې دي چې ضرورت ملاحظو ته لري او هغه په مستقیم مذاکراتو کې به طالبانو سره شریک سي. افغان ولس 2 کاله مخکې د اوربند او دا د اوسې د اورکم خوند ولیده. اوس ټول ولس دایمي اوربند او دایمي سولې ته سترګې په لار دي. موږ او تاسې او طالبان باید د ولس دا پاکه او سپېڅلې هیله او غوښتنه پوره کړو. اینجا میخواهم با وضاحت کامل بگویم که تمام مواد توافقنامه ایالات امریکا و طالبان مشروط می باشد. مواد این موافقتنامه زمان قابل تطبیق است تا طالبان همه تعهدات مندرج در آن را عملی سازد. مثلا یکی از شرایط تعداد و موجودیت نیروهای خارجی در افغانستان است که بستگی به این دارد تا دیده شود که طرف مقابل به تعهداتشان چقدر پابند میماند. برای معلومات شما باید بگویم که پیشنهاد کاهش نیروهای خارجی را در افغانستان اولین بار من مطرح کردم، به خاطری که 94% عملیات ها را نیروهای امنیتی و دفاعی افغان پلان و به شکل مستقلانه عملی میکنند که این خود ارتقا و بالا رفتن ظرفیت نیروهای امنیتی و دفاعی ما را نشان میدهد. من به نمایندگی از دولت جمهوری اسلامی افغانستان سال گذشته برای رئیس جمهور محترم ایالات امریکا آقای ترامپ نامه فرستادم و در آن مطرح کردم که با در نظر داشت بالا رفتن ظرفیت نیروهای امنیتی و دفاعی کشور، حکومت افغانستان آمادگی به خاطر کاهش تدریجی نیروهای ایالات متحده امریکا را دارد که این روند طبعا کمک میکند تا هزینه‌های مالی ایالات متحده امریکا در افغانستان کاهش پیدا کند. من یک بار دیگر به نمایندگی از مردم افغانستان، از کشورهای عضو سازمان ناتو و دولت و مردم امریکا بر خاطر حمایت‌های مالی و نظامیشان تشکر میکنم. حالا به اجازه شما میخواهم برای دوستان خارجی چند حرف به زبان انگلیسی بگویم. Secretary Esper, Secretary General Stoltenberg, distinguished guests. The tragedy of 9/11 brought us together. Mutual sacrifice created human bonds between us. Mutual interest, your security and our freedom, sustains our relationship, and mutual respect has made us partners. The BSA and the SOFA give legal expression to our transparent relationship. NATO and US partners have spared neither blood nor treasure for attaining the goals of the partnership. We ask you to thank the veterans, especially the Gold Star families, for their selfless service. Our sacrifice has been immense, both in the martyrdom of the NDSF and our civilians. Children, youth in their prime, and men and women in all ages, in walks of life, whose lives were taken away by senseless acts of violence and terror in public spaces. May I ask you for a moment of silence? in honor of our mutual fallen heroes. Today can be the moment of overcoming the past. Our people can mark it as the time when our quest for sustainable and dignified peace moved from desirability to feasibility and credibility, both for the living generations and the future generations to come. We, the people and the government of Afghanistan, and you, our international partners, are in full agreement and alignment on the need for seeking a political solution to the conflict with the Taliban. We have the political will and the capacity to make peace because of the resilience of our society, the dynamism of our economy, and the capability of our state. An indication of our resilience as a society is the return of over 10 million of our displaced population and refugees during the last 19 years. Around 4 million of them returning during the last 5 years alone. Free speech, expressed both through a vibrant media and social media, are features of our daily lives, and hold pride in it and make sure that it's protected. Our egalitarian ethos finds expression in national dialogue, with a tradition of Loy Jirga adapted as a mechanism of national discussion and consensus building. Our demographic profile, with 75% under 30, makes the country one of the young people. Our women, creative, dynamic, and strong, think and speak for themselves. We've become a true stakeholder society, discussing peace vigorously. Our inclusive, productive public discussion has turned the interrelated notions of constitution, republic, citizenship, and freedoms and rights into keywords in our social discourse and narrative of our collective identity as Afghans today. During the historic 2018 ceasefire, our society demonstrated the capacity for embracing the future, engaging tens of thousands of Taliban fighters in conversation, without a single incident of abuse, revenge, or violence. Our societal capacity for peace, tolerance, and forgiveness comes from our abiding belief in the injections of Islam. Our ulama have been champions of peace and our rights and freedoms. The alignment of views between the ulama and the women in the dialogue with Taliban has been truly inspiring. Our ulama created the enabling conditions for the 2018 ceasefire when 2,907 of them issued a fatwa urging peace and ceasefire. I therefore quickly ordered a ceasefire. The Taliban accepted. Thereby, we had a true feast celebrating the end of the month of Ramadan in 2018. Our private sector is engaged vigorously in peace. Today, they provide the necessary goods to every single district of Afghanistan. In 1990, people had to stand in line for hours to get a liter of petrol or some wheat or flour. We have demonstrated our political will and state capacity. The past 2 months, we embarked on an intense process of consultation with our defense forces, civilian leadership, and critical groups of stakeholders, responding to the directions from their commander-in-chief. Our patriotic forces changed their posture from war to reduction of violence within 5 days. We have organized our civilian capacity in all provinces equally swiftly. Relentless focus on reforms and a culture of acceptance of civilian leadership has been the key to building the capacity of the security sector. Defying predictions that the NDSF will not be able to fill the vacuum left by the departure of over 125,000 ISAF forces in full assumption of security by ourselves, we've gone from strength to strength, and thank you for the resolute support mission, and I salute General Miller and the previous commanders. NDSF's strength, functioning as the protector of our constitutional order and protector of the rights and obligations of their fellow citizens, gives us the confidence to pursue sustainable peace. Your ongoing support to the NDSF, Dr. Esper, Mr. Stoltenberg, during peace and war are essential to our freedom and your security. Our brave women are increasingly serving along the men in the NDSF. Peace has been an integral component of our vision and program of action for securing the future of our country as an effective state, unified nation, and prosperous country. End of 40 years of violence is the primary objective of our society. Peace is the process for achieving this objective, a process that would not lead to the stated objective and merely change the scale and scope of violence is therefore not likely to receive strong public support. Given the stated divergence between the Taliban and us, we need to agree to a fair and transparent process for reaching agreement and convergence. We are confident that we have a national consensus on peace. Our confidence derives from 5 years of intense consultation. The ulama, women and youth have convened national-level gatherings of stakeholders giving expression to their hopes and fears. The consultative peace Loijirga of 2019 brought all the stakeholders into a national forum. The 23 recommendations of the Loijirga have provided a platform for peace. Reaching here is required commitment and sacrifice of the NDSF, compassion for the suffering of every Afghan, conviction that the war must end politically, and courage to act on the conviction to opt for the road less traveled when reaching a fork in the road. A president, however, does not have the freedom of a citizen. A president has to act within the limits set by the Constitution, the source of his authority, hence assessing all recommendations through compliance with the Constitution, our national rule book. We need to acknowledge that we have yet to form a national consensus on the price of peace and the trade-offs. In the course of negotiation, the trade-offs and the price will become clear. The nation will then have to make a decision through the parliament, a Loijirga, or a referendum. Every Afghan citizen is a stakeholder in the peace process. To ensure inclusiveness, we will engage in an intensive round of consultation in the next 7 days on how to balance effectiveness, inclusion, authority, and capabilities. I would like to thank President Trump for his stewardship of the South Asia strategy and for engaging with us for reframing the agreement between the US and the Taliban. The current framework responds to the desire of our people for putting reduction of violence and ceasefire front and center. And I'd like to thank you, Secretary Esper, personally. The strong emphasis on a conditions-based approach is also welcome. We appreciate the willingness of the United States and our NATO partner to discuss the question of sanctuary provided by Pakistan to the Taliban as an armed group. Our agenda for discussion with the Taliban will be wider than their discussions with the United States. They should be ready to discuss their relationship with the state and non-state sponsors, a verifiable system for cutting off their ties with all transnational terrorist groups, their dependence and involvement with narcotics and other transnational criminal organizations positively. We have an exciting agenda for putting an end to 40 years of violence.
The state of Qatar has taken the initiative of hosting the Afghan dialogue conference last year. which laid the first cornerstone of a larger and more comprehensive community dialogue for the different stakeholders in the Afghan dossier. And we look forward to completing this operation in order to crown this agreement with comprehensive and sustainable peace in the near future, God willing. The state of Qatar was and still is sure of the lack of feasibility of any military solution to the Afghan crisis, and in implementation of the wise guidance of His Highness the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the state of Qatar has pursued its hard efforts and its banked endeavors and serious mediation in order to achieve peace in Afghanistan and bridge different opinions of the different stakeholders in the conflict to reach a political solution that would guarantee the achievement of peace, stability, and prosperity to the Afghan people. We all realize that the Afghan people are facing risky conditions and are bearing more than they can take in terms of dealing with the different dangers and threats caused by the war and all its negative implications. We here value the position of both the United States and Taliban during the phases of dialogue and negotiations hosted in Doha, and their keenness on promoting transparency and their deep conviction that different interlinked challenges have to be faced to achieve sought peace, and their honest will to end their conflict. We have followed with great optimism how ending violence in Afghanistan, or stopping violence in Afghanistan starting last Saturday, led to saving innocent lives that will be undoubtedly a great support for sustainable peace and sought reconstruction. Excellencies, the state of Qatar has focused on mediation as a principal tool to achieve peace, resolve conflicts in peaceful means, which has allowed it to resolve a lot of conflicts in the region, thanks to its credibility and transparency and for taking the same distance from all parties. What pleases the state of Qatar, its leadership, its government, and its people is for it to see a peace agreement signed on its territory between the United States of America and Taliban after long phases of difficult negotiations until it was crowned with success. Achieving the sought peace in this agreement and building successful and fruitful relations between the two parties requires a mutual understanding by each party of the other party's preoccupations, as well as an honest will to achieve the best interests of everyone. And this can only happen through creating a conducive environment to implement this agreement and reach the final settlement between the two parties. Our meeting here today is a message of support to the Afghan people in order to overcome this difficult phase, and a message of thanks to the United States of America and Taliban and to the Afghan people and all the countries that have supported the dialogue and the negotiations between the two parties. We look forward for this agreement to be a real turning point on the path to stability and prosperity to our brotherly Afghan people and to achieving their purposes of security, welfare, and development. Excellencies, since the state of Qatar truly and deeply believes that the sustainability of peace is a joint responsibility of the international community, we call the international community to spare no efforts in order to face any challenges before the sought peace in Afghanistan. We confirm that the state of Qatar will also spare no effort in continuing its active interaction with all the international efforts and regional efforts in this regard. I hereby call on all the countries that are still witnessing conflicts to open up to all the initiatives aiming at establishing the cornerstones of peace through a constructive dialogue in order to achieve their people's ambitions and aspirations of security, stability, and decent living. And we are in a desperate need for that. We need peace in a large number of regions in the world. We also need a poised and honest language of dialogue that looks into the preoccupations of today and open a path, a good path before the future, a better future for the people. Last but not least, the state of Qatar is proud of your meeting today It is also proud of having been able to overcome all the hurdles before the agreement for bringing peace, which we celebrate today. I cannot but extend my thanks and appreciation to all the members of the team that has organized and has prepared for the success of this operation. Thank you for being with us, and for have a pleasant stay in Doha. May the peace and blessings of God be upon you. Thank you, Your Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman Al Thani, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs for the State of Qatar, for this inaugural speech. Excellencies, honorable delegates, we now call upon Mr. Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State of the United States, to give his speech.
Good afternoon. I want to start by thanking His Highness Sheikh Tamim for Qatar's invaluable role as host for these historic talks. His unstinting support and yours, Mr. Foreign Minister, supported both sides in helping to reach this momentous day. The United States and the Taliban have endured decades of hostility and mistrust. Previous talks have faltered. This effort only became real for the United States when the Taliban signaled interest in pursuing peace and ending their relationship with al-Qaeda and other foreign terrorist groups. They also recognized that military victory was impossible. I then asked Ambassador Khalilzad to serve as our lead negotiator to gauge the Taliban's sincerity. The agreement that we will sign today is the true test of this effort. We will closely watch the Taliban's compliance with their commitments and calibrate the pace of our withdrawal to their actions. This is how we will ensure that Afghanistan never again serves as a base for international terrorists. The negotiation process in Doha, with all of its twists and turns, has shown it is possible for us to take this step together. Over the past 7 days, violence levels have reached their lowest point in the last 4 years. U.S. and Afghan forces responded to the reduced enemy attacks by also respecting peace. It was not perfect, but the Taliban demonstrated, even if only for a week, that when they have the will to be peaceful, they can be. The Afghan people have rejoiced. They're moving freely about the country to visit family and friends. They're trading. They're even dancing in the streets. But we're just at the beginning. Furthering the cause of peace will require serious work and sacrifice by all sides. The United States, the coalition, the Taliban, the Afghan government, other Afghan leaders, and the Afghan people themselves to maintain the momentum needed to reach a comprehensive, inclusive, and durable peace. This agreement will mean nothing, and today's good feelings will not last if we don't take concrete actions on commitments and promises that have been made. When it comes down to it, the future of Afghanistan is for Afghans to determine. The U.S. Taliban deal creates the conditions for Afghans to do just that. Here's our take. Here's our take on what steps by the Taliban will make this agreement a success. First, keep your promises to cut ties with al-Qaeda and other terrorists. Keep up the fight to defeat ISIS. Welcome the profound relief of all Afghan citizens, men and women, urban and rural, as a result of this past week's massive reduction in violence, and dedicate yourselves to continued reductions. It is this significant escalation of violence that will create the conditions for peace, and the absence of it, the conditions and the cause for failure. All Afghans deserve to live and prosper without fear. Sit down with the Afghan government, other Afghan political leaders, and civil society, and start the difficult conversations on a political roadmap for your country. Exercise patience, even when there is frustration. Honor the rich diversity of your country and make room for all views. Afghan governments have failed because they weren't sufficiently inclusive. The Afghan government of 2020, and indeed the Afghanistan of 2020, is not the same as in 2001. Embrace the historic progress obtained for women and girls, and build on it for the benefit of all Afghans. The future of Afghanistan ought to draw on the God-given potential of every single person. If you take these steps, if you stay the course and remain committed to negotiations with the Afghan government and other Afghan partners, we and the rest of the international community assembled here today stand ready to reciprocate. I know there will be a temptation to declare victory. But victory for Afghans will only be achieved when they can live in peace and prosper. Victory for the United States will only be achieved when Americans and our allies no longer have to fear a terrorist threat from Afghanistan. And we will do whatever it takes to protect our people. The United States will press all sides to stay focused on the goal of a peaceful, prosperous, and sovereign Afghanistan, an Afghanistan free of malign foreign interference, where all voices and communities are heard and are represented. This is the only way. This is the only way a sustainable peace can be achieved. And for all of us here, and most importantly, for the security of the American Afghan people, this must happen. Thank you.
شكرا جزيلا.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. Now, honorable delegates, I call upon His Excellency Al-Mullah Abdul Ghani brother to deliver his speech.
In the name of God, all of you representatives who have come here, who have participated in today's historical event about our country, I welcome you and I thank you. Afghanistan, the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, the Taliban, and the United States, successful negotiations and the agreement for the Mujahid nation of Afghanistan, and is also good for the international community. And I congratulate everyone for that achievement. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan, with the United States, the agreement that it has reached, we are committed to this agreement to enforce it. Also, we want, as a political force, to maintain with its neighbors, regional countries and international community, we want a positive relationship with all. The Afghan nation has been suffering for the past 4 decades. We have suffered tremendously, and I hope that with the withdrawal of all foreign forces from Afghanistan, that the Afghan nation, under an Islamic regime, will take its relief and embark on a new prosperous life. we all want to be attentive to the unity and prosperity of our country. For this reason, I call on all Afghan factions to honestly and sincerely for the establishment of a strong Islamic system come to negotiations, and so that for the Islamic values, we all come together for Islamic values around Afghanistan and for Afghanistan. And at the end, I would like to take the opportunity to express my gratitude to the Qatari Highness, and also to the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Abdurrahman al-Sani, and also for other Qatari officials who, during this long period of negotiations, they supported the peace process and hosted us and facilitated everything for us, and took a lot of favor. I would like to thank them and express my gratitude for that. Also, in terms of peace, and the Pakistan's and thank them for their efforts, for their work and assistance. I would like to thank them for that. Also, I would like to thank China, Uzbekistan, Iran, Russia, Indonesia, Norway, and other countries who supported the peace process. I would like to thank them. And finally, I hope that in the rebuilding of Afghanistan, all of them to participate and to take part in the future of Afghanistan. And thank you so much. May peace be upon you all.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency Al-Mullah Abdul Ghani brother. I now call upon His Excellency Mr. Zalmay Khalilzad and Al-Mullah brother to sign the agreement. Honorable delegates, we kindly ask you to remain seated until the very end of the signing ceremony.
نأمل أن تكون هذه اللحظة.
We hope this moment that we have witnessed to be a landmark moment in the history of the Afghan people for future generations to remember with gratitude all concerned parties. As such, we have come to the end of the ceremony. We wish